morning and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Donald Trump, as you no doubt know, was arraigned in a Manhattan court today. The former president is back in Florida at this hour and scheduled to speak in just a moment from Mar-a-Lago. This feels significant, so we're going to take his remarks live as soon as they begin. But before we get there, it's worth understanding what it is we've just seen. Often the clearest perspectives on our country come from outside its borders. With distance comes clarity. So with that in mind, here is Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele on Twitter today. Quote, "Think what you want about former President Trump and the reasons he's being indicted," Bukele wrote. "But just imagine if this happened in any other country where a government arrested the main opposition candidate. The United States' ability to use, quote, democracy as foreign policy is gone." Thousands of miles from New York City, in the heart of Central America, it is very obvious what just happened at that Manhattan courthouse. It's obvious to many Democrats, too. Trump was criminally charged because he is planning to challenge Joe Biden in the upcoming presidential election. It's really that simple. If Donald Trump had retired in 2020, would he have been arraigned today? Of course not. Top Democrats know that. Some effectively admit it. The liberal blog Politico this morning ran a piece describing what it called President Joe Biden's most senior advisors, predicting that Trump will be the Republican nominee, and because he has now been charged with crimes, he will lose the general election. Thanks to this criminal case, the Biden White House believes that swing voters, the critical voters in a presidential election, are, quote, now permanently out of Trump's reach. And just to make certain that swing voters never fall within Trump's reach, Donald Trump is scheduled to be back in court in New York with the accompanying media circus just weeks before the first Republican primary. This is the boldest election interference ever attempted in this country's history. And if you doubt that, if you think it's maybe on the level, then we suggest you look carefully at the indictment that was unveiled today. Donald Trump, as you probably heard, has been charged with 34 separate crimes.
So that was Tucker Carlson on a recent Fox segment. That's when Tucker was on Fox. And he was predicting that President Trump would be jailed during an election cycle when Trump decides he wants to run against Biden. So you make a decision. Do you think that this is just a coincidence? Or was it politically connected? I mean, could it be if you can't win them, you jail them? Oh, do you know that the Hunter Biden scandal, the liberal media like MSNBC and CNN 4 years ago did not report on that? Now today, because of the internet, people are learning about the Hunter Biden scandal. What Hunter Biden scandal? You said two things that will happen. Number one, Hunter Biden owed millions of dollars to IRS and it just got paid. So Hunter Biden had an unpaid tax bill that another attorney paid for him. And number two, Hunter Biden was sued by one of his baby mothers for not paying his child support. These are moral obligations that every human being is required to pay. You have a child, it's yours. You work and earn money, you pay your taxes. So what we see, though, is that big government is going after Donald Trump, who is running for president of the United States for 2024. And even though big government jailed Trump, it doesn't mean they have jailed the voices of the voters. In fact, a lot of Black people in the United States, they're now evil for Trump because of the mugshots. So this might help Trump because there are 10 million people in jail in the United States. And, you know, it shows you that when you see someone like Donald Trump being mugshot, you tend to feel sorry for him because you know that the justice system doesn't always get it right. So this might work in Trump's favor and not against him. So be careful what you wish. It might not come true. So we went from talking about political stuff in the United States. Now we got to talk about something that's really troublesome in the United States, and that's the money. Americans no longer have a lot of money saved. So we're going to watch the CNBC clip on what happened to the American savings as it's dwindling down every second of the day. And then I'm going to give you 3 ways to get your savings back up. So you're going to get 3 ways from a security attorney in the United States on how to get your savings back up. Spent years on Wall Street learning this stuff, and I'm about to teach that to you. Folks, go ahead and hit that free like and that free subscribe button and check out the Neiman Marcus tag products. They can be shipped anywhere in the world because that's where we're going to now. We are moving remotely. Retail stores are going remote. We are wasting time when we go physically shop. So I'm Tisha Bell. We'll be back right after you listen to a portion of this CNBC segment.
In 2022, the American personal saving rate fell to a low not seen since the Great Recession.
I think a lot of people have been just kind of cooped up during the pandemic times, and now we're transitioning plus inflation. So it definitely has been a little bit harder.
Economists look at this savings dynamic in a sort of benign light. Savings accrued over the early part of the pandemic, and that's starting to get spent down. But on the personal level, though, that's not a pleasant process.
This real-time dip in saving is stressing out a lot of people.
70% say they are stressed about their personal finances, and that includes 57% of people earning $100,000 or more. And the main factors contributing to financial stress for the 6-figure set include inflation, economy-wide instability, interest rates, and a lack of savings.
The basic necessities of life substantially burden your income. It becomes difficult to save.
That said,
Americans are sitting with a lot more savings than they had in the past.
According to bank deposit records, Americans as a whole are still better off than they've traditionally been. How much depends on which side of the income distribution you're on. Regardless, Americans across the board were drawing down those savings in the final quarter of 2022. So, why did Americans stop saving? And what effect will that have on this massive group of people that we call the economy?
Welcome back. So you know there's a saying that's going on. They said we're going to what? Own nothing and be happy. So what I'm telling Americans, go back to savings. You heard what CNBC is saying. The inflation, there's a lot of reasons that our savings in the United States have dwindled down. And that's not supposed to be. We are the greatest country in the world. America is the greatest country in the world. We have the most money. We get the most disposable income. It is time for us to go back to saving. So here are the 3 tips. Go ahead and first hit that like and subscribe button. Number 1, you want to save. Number 2, you want to invest. Number 3, you want to pay down your bad debt. You do not want to pay down good debt. Good debt is a mortgage. Anything that has assets attached to it, that's the last to pay down. Even, I would say, don't even pay it down. Not in today's day. Pay down the bad debt, the credit cards, the student loans, which you should never have had any student loans for undergrad because you could have worked and went to school. And also the car payment. Car payments are bad debt. What do you invest in? The 3 things to invest in. Number 1, you want to invest in the stock market. You want to look at the stocks that are high cap rate. Google, Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Facebook, they are billions, if not trillion caps. So people say the stock market is rigged. No. The stock market is not rigged. Trillions of dollars don't rig a stock market. You need to go with the high ones. If you don't feel comfortable investing in those stocks, call a lender. There are 4,800 lenders in the United States. Request a mutual funds. Call Fidelity. Call Wells Fargo. Call Bank of America. Request mutual funds. The average Social Security is only $1,800 per month. I call Social Security supplement retirement. It is not full retirement. Love yourself. Put away a mutual fund. Number 2, start an online business. Passive income, digital asset. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Airbnb, Shopify, Amazon. Average pays $3,000 a month. Get yourself on the internet and start an online business. Number 3, look into buying up real estate or other digital asset like Bitcoin, XRP, or Ethereum. I use the word crypto. Crypto is also a digital asset, and it has a lot, when I say a lot of potentials. So you have to look into some investments. I'll give you some passive income, get a digital asset, get a Shopee, TikTok store, Airbnb. Another thing you could do is look into becoming a social media influencer. Look into doing digital marketing. Look into becoming a digital marketer. Look for a job on the internet. There is a low cost and the pay is high. Look to rent out one of your rooms with Airbnb. But you've got to start looking for additional income, and the number 1 place to go is on the internet.